Hello, welcome to Flame On. I am Brian. I'm here with our Rainbow Spotlight interview series of all about our favorite queer creators. I am very, very pleased today to be joined by a mangaka, or if you're not familiar, basically a self-published or a person who creates manga. Isa-san, konbanwa in London, right? It's your
Our
evening, I believe. So
hello.
this is a little different for us. Normally we do this live, but this one will be recorded. It is being recorded, so we can't take your chat in the comments. However, if you are watching this and you have any comments, please leave them on the video, and then maybe we'll do a follow up, or we'll at least get Isa back to answer some questions. I mean, we'll figure something out. But anyway, thank you for joining us, Isa. I really
Thank
have
you.
I've been enjoying QUEERZ, which I'm going to put up on our screen. The newest forthcoming issue, or yeah, I guess it's issue.
On new chapter, yeah.
QUEERZ is, well, this is issue 5, I believe, or 6. Sorry, 6. Um, and this has been ongoing. You've been self-publishing this through your Instagram and your Facebook, and anywhere else.
Yeah. No, mainly yes, Instagram and Facebook.
And this is all you. You're drawing, coloring,
Yeah.
writing. It's all of it's you. That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a good
Um,
fun.
I have you been doing this for what, like the last almost a year?
Yeah, the project itself was like well, quite long, but last year we all had some kind of spare time and nothing else to do. So, oh, okay, let's do the progress the project. And so yeah, last year I did quite a lot. Well, only 4 or 5 chapters, but yeah, I got some progress.
And it's basically, I mean, I'm going to sum it up, but then you please feel free to correct me and or add on. It's a story about sort of coming out, and it's set in a world of superheroes or people with abilities,
Mm.
and the characters that you meet are different aspects of the queer community, and so you get a great representation of a lot of different parts of the community, and it also sort of subverts the superhero genre by putting the sort of superhero justice, I think is the term, as sort of the unaccepting, intolerant people, and then the queers are the more welcoming, tolerant. They remind me of kind of like the like if there was a queer X-Men collecting
Mm.
various people into their ranks, and then they have adventures and sort of kind of follow a little bit of a monster of the week, or at least they meet a new person who they like have to help, maybe even bring over into their side from the other team.
Yeah, it's a long story, but the basic idea was like uh I think the audience is not for only for gays. So even the straight people or young, old, or any races, or I wanted to draw something about the diversity and like just be yourself, kind of, and then all positive message. Usually, the gay art or gay something is like uh those things goes to like a for gays by gays, and it often become a bit pornography or too serious. But I kind of wanted to do a bit more like a fun, easy, and safe, kid safe or straight safe, or anyone can enjoy kind of entertainment. And I have been working for the video games industry for a long time, and I've been like always drawing anyway, and I wanted to do something like my own project, and so use my skill, experience, and my motivation, everything, and okay, let's do the comics about the queer, but not only for gays, for everybody. And I said queers, but it's more like a means something like minorities, any kind of like, well, sexual minority, of course, and or even straight people. Everybody is some kind of minority anyway. So yeah, using the old gay motifs and keywords and characters and like a gay people can enjoy like a very gay things, but straight people can learn something about gay or think about something diversity or the kind of more general wide audience. And mainly I want to present this to probably like around 14 years old boy girl who just realized themselves kind of. So yeah, it's not much like a porn or not much violence or drug or sex or anything, but
Well,
just for
and that was
fun. And
neat to. So I've been learning a lot about gay manga through Gengoro Takame and all of the
yeah,
mangaka who've done that. We actually just had a documentary called Queer Japan that we discussed here,
yeah,
and we talked to the director Graham Colbins. And so I've been sort of digging into like Massive and some of the all of the different
yeah,
Inuyoshi, some of those. So I've been very steeped in sexual comics lately,
yeah.
and they're
Oh, me
great.
too.
Well, and yeah, so
Yeah,
obviously you have an influence, at least in I'm assuming from that, but at the same time, one of the things that I also really like, and specifically about your work, is it is so not that. Like, you get to explore the queer community in this world, and you have such positive representation of these characters. And it's not to say that they don't have romantic lives, because I'm guessing at some point there will be some kind of romantic dramas, and just as any
yeah,
story would do. But it's not something you couldn't have, like you said, give to a 13 or 14-year-old as manga, which is perfect because they love manga. Especially in the West and in the East, like they all love this kind of not chibi exactly, but the manga style, like that very high energy, kind of cute character designs in that style. So you're right there. It's perfect for that, and it is so positive and has such great representation. What helped shape some of that for you? Was this sort of a reaction to your experiences, I'm assuming, growing up in Japan and coming out, or is this sort of just your reaction to just, you know, gay life in general?
yeah. I think uh, yeah, it's all from my like a life experience. Well, I'm Japanese and I was born in Hiroshima, like West Japan,
Hmm.
and I spent teenager there, and then I moved to Tokyo for the college and work, and I spent my 20s in Tokyo and Nichome and everything. And I moved to London like 2010. So it's like I spent all my 30s in London. And then each stages I have a different life experience, or as a gay, or as a Japanese, or as a manga geek or whatever. And all this kind of experience and like discovery, everything is in this comic, I think. I'm not like a particularly trying to, but obviously like I'm writing the stories and characters and everything, so my all my experience will be in there, and then each character probably presenting some side of myself or some of my friends or someone I met before. So yeah, and I'm gay and I don't know much about like anything else. So I draw about the queer, but the message is more like a general things. And yeah, there are many different type of people and ideas, and they're all trying to be themselves, kind of very basic, simple stories, I think. But yeah, it's all depends on my experience, I think.
So you talked about growing up in Hiroshima, which I've been through briefly, and it's a beautiful city. I love the brief moment I was there, on my way from Sasebo all the way to Yokohama. It
Oh,
was,
okay.
I mean, we stopped there I think for like an hour maybe. It was very quick, but it was beautiful from the train. And I've heard
Yeah.
nothing but amazing things. I mean, that Western. I always talk about like my time in Japan, but like Western people who have never been or when they always go to Tokyo. They always go to like Honshu, whatever. But if you have a chance and you can spend time in Western Japan, Kyushu, and the western
Yeah.
parts of Honshu, like it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if there was much of a queer life when you were there. The documentary that I talked about did not touch on Western Japan whatsoever. Um,
Mm-hmm. Well,
so I'm
there are
guessing.
like each cities has scenes and bars and stuff, but
Okay.
of course, like well, it's the same. The countryside is very difficult. Even the middle-sized city. Well, generally in Japan, gay life is still quite underground-ish, and I was one of them. In Hiroshima, I could never be out to anyone, and I couldn't deal with it, so I moved to Tokyo, and then I had my party time in 20s, and but still, I wasn't out to everybody. Like at my work, I wasn't out. I was like enjoying the old scene and gay friends and everything, community things, but it was still very difficult to be open to everybody, even for family sometimes. And then when I moved to London, and it's another level. And being gay is nothing special. Well, I mean, special, but
Yeah.
yeah,
You
no
don't have
one
to
really.
be hidden about it. You can be as open as you need, as you
No.
feel comfortable. Yeah. What
And then
was
I
your?
still, yeah, go,
Oh, sorry. Go
yeah,
ahead. So.
yeah, I still go back to Tokyo, Hiroshima to see my family friends time to time. But even after 10 years, even years, and it hasn't changed much yet. It's getting better, especially after internet generation. But yeah, still kind of like not hiding, but yeah, still underground-ish and not easily like being yourself anywhere. So yeah, that's another idea doing this because in Japan, what they say it's kind of conservative society, but in manga world they go quite extreme sometimes, and they can take it. So yeah, it's easy to approach to Japanese people or maybe Asian people through the manga. So yeah, my culture background or as a Japanese, these experiences are being well.
So I'm flipping back through some of the pages in your manga, and I'm going to share this one. You introduce a few locations, and one of the fun ones was this Club Ducky, which is quite a bar, quite a community center slash bar slash everything, right? Um,
Yeah.
when you were in your 20s in Ichome, what were your
Yeah.
sort of favorite places to hang that were like a gay community? I mean, obviously the bars, but I know there's like there's a place in Shinjuku near Harajuku, I think, or Shibuya. Sorry, Shibuya. I think it's like Rainbow House or any like those community centers. Were there any that you like drew inspiration from?
No, I didn't go much around the Shibuya area. I was more like a Shinjuku area when I was in Tokyo.
Mm.
And yeah, more like a zen clubs and well, Tokyo has several different area and for different specific types and like a Ueno is more like a 30s, 40s. Asakusa is even older. Shibuya is very young.
Mm.
And Shinjuku is like it's more like a central area. And yeah, there are many places around Tokyo, but I don't know much about the other areas. Shibuya area, about gazing, I don't really know much.
It was like a community center. It's featured in the Queer Japan documentary. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it yet, but I would, if you haven't, it's amazing. Um,
Yeah, yeah, but
the
I've been trying, but from UK, I don't think don't have the way to see it yet.
Oh no! All right, I know
Only
people.
the
Let me
North
see if I can help you.
America.
But so Nichome. I mean, obviously that's people who either followed this series or heard our previous things or have been there. Amazingly, so many bars, so many places to find. I was lost when I was there. The only ones I
Yeah.
knew to go to were the Eagle or Tokyo Eagle and Tokyo Eagle Blue.
Mhm.
Was the Eagle or what were your favorite places to hang out and sort of learn there?
Yeah, my Tokyo time, I was more like into bear scene. So all the bear type of the bars. I think Eagle wasn't there at the time.
Oh wow, okay.
So the club was more like a dragons or, but there are several, like it was like a big time G-man came up and old macho, like a muscular or that kind of types are rising. And there are many bars of the bears and leathers and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I was, yeah, some of them I was going there, some of them like a bear bars. Again, it's a Japanese style, very small, the counter bar, and then maybe two tables. It's very intimacy, and it's not like a Western style bar. So Eagle Tokyo was a bit like sensational, very open, and you can see inside from outside, and it's like a all big space, and it's totally Western style. It's normal for like a European Americans, but in Japan, gay bars are always hiding in the behind of the wall and like a really thick door, and so yeah, it was a long time ago anyway,
I had a hard
but
time
at the time
there
I was,
because of that. Like I didn't know where to go other than the one that
yeah,
was easy for me to find, and I had one experience in Yokohama with one of those like traditional Japanese bars, and I forgot the name of it, but it was a bear bar in Yokohama that a friend of mine took me to,
hmm,
and they actually have a fundoshi party that I found out about, but I
yeah,
didn't get to go to, and I was very sad because I wanted to a wear a fundoshi, but also go to. I mean, I like underwear parties, right? Uh,
uh-huh.
anyway, so again, for people who've never been in those spaces, like you have to really sort of know like where they are, and I think it helps, especially if you don't speak Japanese fluently, to have somebody with you to help you because if you just show up by yourself and you can't speak the language, they're gonna be like, mm.
Yeah,
But it's still that
yeah,
people are very
it's
friendly
like
there.
yeah. Basically,
Um,
people are very curious and like a friendly, but they just scared of the language barrier, and yeah, they get freaked out. But it's not like they're very curious and they're very interested in you, but they just don't know how what to do
I
and just
had
get panicked.
I had some surprising conversations on Growler there. Like a lot of guys hitting me up and I was kind of like, yeah, I'm just here because I'm visiting. I asked a few of them where to go and I think pretty much they were all like, "Oh no, just go to the Eagle. You're fine in the Eagle." um but I talked to a bartender there in Tokyo Eagle Blue and
Mhm.
he DJ Schutz, I think Stutz. I said his name in
Yeah,
previous things. I think he's Brazilian. Nice guy, but I mean, he kind of gave me sort of the lay of the land. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's your past. I mean, you're in London now. I did also want to. I wanted to put another page up here. I'm not trying to give all the comic away, but speaking of bears and representation, I really like your style of drawing bearish men. And this is Teddy Wolf, who's one of the members of the Queers team. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I do find it funny that he's like basically like always like, hey, you should pet my fur. You should. Do you want to touch my chest hair?
Yeah.
In a totally not creepy way. Like
Well,
he's just being nice.
yeah. Well, again, like especially for like many Asian people, the like big hairy men are kind of rare, and they actually like they really want to touch them, like the hair. Can I touch? But yeah, it's like a well, I'm using the very mainstream stereotype for the characters to make audience understand, especially not like familiar with gay culture. So like like my straight friends in Japan doesn't even know like categories or like a twinks or drag queens or bears or that kind of subculture or different categories. And well, yeah, there are all sexual minorities, but in there are many very a lot of like a segment or types. So I'm just using the very typical stereotype. And then well, Teddy Wolf is like very teddy bear and wolf is for gay people. What are you talking about? Kind of like very mainstream things, but for someone who doesn't know much about the gay culture, it's all about like I'm introducing all the keywords and even the chest hair things. Or
Well,
yeah, it's like a
Teddy's got secrets that I won't reveal because they're, part
oh
of the story, but I
yeah.
absolutely think he's very he's a good father figure for the team. He definitely has I mean, the stereotype like you say, but is very
Mhm.
he leans into that lumberjack look. That is, I
Mm.
mean, I'm in Seattle, so that's. I mean, I'm wearing, the
Yeah.
hat, right? I've got the beard. It's not an uncommon look for some of us. I think
Mm.
another character that you introduced that I is kind of drawn from, I think everyone will pretty much know when they see it. Uh, Tommy Finland, who I love, being I'm sure as you are a big fan of Tom of Finland, and how
Right.
influential his art is. But
Yeah.
you definitely you use the look of that like that police officer that Tom drew, and you kind of bring it a little bit more into the family friendly like the bulge is minimized, like
Yeah.
he's just a cop, he's just a
Well, I haven't
so
drawn his episode yet, so maybe you don't know yet. But but yeah, I'm just trying to not scare people or like again, if I want to introduce something like the gay culture is so much fun and so many amazing, beautiful things, and I want to introduce and enjoy it together. But for that, I cannot scare those people. So I'm trying to be very friendly, very simple, easy, and even for like a 14 years old kids can understand kind of. So yeah, I love Tom of Finland and it's just legendary queer, but I cannot do I cannot use as it is. It's a bit too powerful. So yeah, just for entrance and then introducing, but gay people know what that means and then they can understand the motive character. So I hope like both people can understand and enjoy these things. Well, I hope.
I feel like, I mean, my own reading, even though I'm in the community, of course, is that it's very accessible, and I could give this to my nephew in a few years once
Yeah.
he's reading and he's into that, and be very okay with him experiencing the drama, but and the story, but also not feeling like you're dropping him in the deep end, of our community, so to speak. I also want to make sure we give we share some representation. It's not just sexy men or rather men in general. We have other representation. Absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's had her episode yet either, right? But do you want to talk a little bit about who she is? Because I don't think I have a great read other than she's kind of the maternal, maybe like drag mother sort of.
Yeah. Well, it's representing drag queens culture, and well, to be the just today I started posting the chapter 6, and that is about the drag queen episode. So I cannot reveal yet, but well, yeah, it's one big culture from the queer scene or the gay scene, and well, these days everybody enjoy the RuPaul and everything. I'm not an expert of the drag queen. I don't. Well, sometimes I do draggy something, but I'm not. I'm not drag queen myself. But I love like all different type of bars and clubs and meeting all different type of people. Then drag queens are really with as a character or visual, and so yeah, it's why not like he should be a part of the queers and the main character, one of the team member. But yeah, again, probably this chapter is gonna be like not all about the drag queens, more like a general issues and probably enemies coming and yeah, talk about general things or help the straight people or I don't know, like using the queer culture and gay motif and stuff, but still talking about general things.
I
So
think
yeah, just
you touch on for people who are heterosexual or in otherwise straight community or whatever, you do have this nice like way of I mean, presenting everything so it's very clear and understandable, using archetypes that they might have been familiar with. But you in the story get to have like help the members of the justice team specifically,
yeah,
and I like the way you do it. It reminds me of I mean, you're in London. I'm sure you're familiar with Doctor Who, right? It
yeah. But I
reminds
think my influence is more like yeah, again, Japanese anime because I grew up with them, and of course the superheroes, but also like a magical girl anime or Sailor Moon type of
mm,
Twinkle Twinkle. It's not only like a fighters with superpower. It's more yeah, like a rainbow magic kind of influence as well.
I
So yeah,
my favorite magic girl anime is it's not Sailor Moon, but I love Sailor Moon. It's Cardcaptor Sakura.
oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so yeah, I can definitely see that influence with the transformation scenes, the
yes,
rainbow, the effects that you draw in. I love the use of sound effect sounds that you put in there, which is very
hmm
true to the genre. Of course, manga has lots of sound effects in the thing.
yeah,
The Doctor Who thing, I guess what I was referring to more is the you kind of learn each character, each of the villains. I'll say
yeah,
you learn a little bit about their backstory, and like the queers actually seem to like kind of help. They like seem to insert themselves into their stories a bit to help them like learn and sort of reflect on how they got to be where they are. And so I like that idea. I like that's a thing Doctor Who did in one of the episodes, and
mm,
it's really nice. It's a really nice way of beating some, not beating like physically beating, but like changing somebody by really like using their own story and sort of helping them understand it better. So I like that. It's a very positive way of fighting, them. I mean, apart from the rainbows and magic and the rest of it, which is, Um, so you've got how many episodes or how many issues are you planning currently?
Well, the idea, well, I have a lot of uh, like a plot things, probably 20, 25 chapters. So it's gonna be like my life project. But like a drawing manga is takes a lot of time.
Mm.
And then last year I was more focusing on this, but well, the situation as well, the world situation is quite messed up. So I was more focused on the comic project. But probably at some point this year, I need to go back to work and to live. So yeah, it's gonna take a long. But I'm planning to. Well, now I've almost finished the 6 chapters. So I'm trying to make it one or make them one book. Probably first Amazon Kindle ebook or something, and maybe a Kickstarter for like a physical hard copy book. And yeah, and then just keep going on, keep going on as possible as I can go.
You
But
have
yeah,
some
it's a
you have some good videos that you've been posting on Instagram and your YouTube channel of your process. So if anyone has any
yeah,
doubts about how hard and time consuming it is to make a
yeah.
manga, like go watch these. I'll post one up on our well, we did one on our Instagram story that you recently did, and then we'll do one on our YouTube channel. I'll try to get that forwarded up. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and the fact that you're doing this in addition to to a full time or to your normal work, it's got to be
Mm.
exhausting. So I hope everyone is very patient if they want more
Yeah.
issues soon. And you're cranking them out. You've been doing really good, but that's not always something you can maintain. Have you thought about doing like a Patreon so people can like pay a little to help with your expenses and then also keep that content? I know a lot of mangaka and American creators are kind of doing that model.
Uh, well, actually, I have one, but I'm not promoting much, and I'm not maintaining very well. I think I have, I don't know, 4 or 5 patron now,
Hmm.
and then posting the latest version of Queers. But yeah, I'm not. I don't really know what to do or how to manage this. So I'm kind of learning,
Hmm.
and I need to do like a good promotion for this to find the patrons. But yeah, I'm still learning this. It's quite new things to me. But yeah, this
What's
internet things, and
what's your Patreon account? What's it? What's the what? How would I find it?
it's in my on my Instagram link.
Okay, I'm gonna find it and we're gonna
There's
share it
a
on the screen.
oh yes, link tree, and
I see it.
there's a trail link there.
I'm gonna make sure people who are watching this know how they can support you. So if you are interested in supporting Issa doing this manga, which I know is going to have quite a, I think you're going to find some very interested publishers, and if you self-publish, I think you're going to do very well. Um, for only $3 a month, American dollars, you can support this. And
Oh,
you
thank
have
you.
other options that are more, but I think at a minimum, our fans, which we have a lot of people who watch this, and we try to get the word out, like $3 a month to see the latest episode or issue of Queers, and to whatever other perks that you're going to come up with, because that's always the thing with these, right? I think they're going to get a lot of interest. So we're happy to get the word out, and we'll put this up on our social media too.
Oh, thank you.
So other than Queers, are there any other? I know you had previously done other manga. Was there any other types of work you did that you want to talk about? I don't remember the name of the one I saw. It was.
Yeah, I have only done 2 manga, and one is Queers, and one was Chiringito number 7.
Hmm.
It was like wow. Like I said, I've been working in the video game for a long time, but I've never tried manga before. And a couple years ago, probably like, well, I think I was thinking to do well. What's my next stage on what do I want to try next kind of things, And few years back, I tried manga. Actually, the QUEERZ first episode was my first manga, and I sent it to a Japanese publisher, and I got a 1 hour, but I couldn't get the contract for the what you call it, Lensa, every week or every month publishing things.
Mm-hmm.
So and then they said the queers are a little bit too advanced for them, for Japanese audience. So I tried uh, another manga comics as a like a one whole story, 50 pages, all done kind of comics. And then yeah, that's Chiringito. And then it's it's actually the same things, like one boy realize himself and then challenge, meet people, learn something, and open himself, and that kind of. And it's about this boy realize himself as a like a nudist. He wanted to be, so he tried to meet people or try to visit nudist beach, that kind of. Well, it's like a coming out and live himself kind of story. And then this, I sent this to another publisher, and then I got award again. But yeah, still they didn't want to publish the queers. Well, even the Chiringito, nudist theme is a bit too advanced for Japanese people, I
Which
think.
is so funny because when I was in Japan, I went to so many onsen, which admittedly are gender
Yeah.
segregated, but people were naked and hanging around each other, and it was no big deal, you
Yeah.
know.
No. So yeah, like still drawing something about minorities or like things are a little bit difficult for the mainstream publishing. And but well, it was fun for me anyway. And doing the queers is like such a satisfying experience for me. And I'm kind of like surprised myself. Like I'm really enjoying doing this, and that makes me so happy. And I interact with people through this, like you as well. And these things happens, and it's like since last year, it's a full of surprises, and I'm basically really happy doing this.
Oh, excellent. That's what we want to hear. I don't want to hear the how horrible people are to you. And I'm glad that this is a good experience for you because yeah, that's not always the case, but I'm really glad. I want to talk about the fact that this is from one of the later issues. This isn't one of the early ones, but I'm just gonna say, for someone who had never made manga before, Queers and Chiringiku number 7, like this is some amazing design and illustration. Like I want to give you all the credit because there are mangaka who write traditional non-queer stuff that the publishers would eat up and that I've read in Japan, and it's not this good. It's not even close. Like storytelling wise, art wise, you translating it yourself too, right? That's you doing both languages.
Yeah, I'm sorry about my like a terrible English. There's misspells and everywhere. But well, I'm fix it later.
Yeah, no, fix it later. No, before you publish it, I'm sure. And if you need help, let me know because I
Yeah,
would love to spend time translating.
yeah,
Trust me, it'll
fix it.
help me learn.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I want to give you credit because, like I said, I mean, I won't. I don't want to call any specific people out, but I've read like Attack on Titan, some of the early issues of that manga. I mean, I it might be an interesting concept, and obviously it's been successful. But oh my gosh, like your work is so cleaner, nicer, better. Oh, there's just it's no comparison. So I'm not surprised that they wanted to work with you. I am sad that they didn't want to publish that content, but Have you like you of course Gengoro Tagame? Have you thought about like trying to because I mean he found a publisher, but did he find? I don't know if the original publisher was it a Japanese company that published my brother's boyfriend or my brother's husband, or was that a Western publisher? Because I mean he couldn't get it made. I mean I don't know.
Mm.
I'm wondering how you
Well, I think
can you know.
yeah. Well, I think well, Tagame Sensei was already legend when I was teenage, so he was a massive in Japan already. But the like you said, my brother's husband was like a great expression. Well, I was at the time I was thinking about these things. I didn't have the idea of queers yet, but I wanted to do something like a more for everybody, for all generation, all races. Well, I love gay art for gay people, by gay people. I love them, and even the pornography is amazing, beautiful things, and I love them. But if I do something, I want to do something like a very wide, general. And but I didn't have the idea yet. And at the time, the brother's husband came up, and oh my God, he did it. And I think it was I read a Japanese publisher asked to Tagame Sensei to do it, suggest
Mm.
to, are you interested to do this kind of things? And then Tagame-san did this comic, and it became quite big success. And then he even came to the British Museum, and
Oh wow.
so yeah, and then it was yeah, brother's husband is very close idea, like what I want to go. It's very gay, very bad, and then but still for talking about family or doesn't matter straight or gay or anything, and everyone can understand and enjoy, even the
Yeah,
child.
I would take my brother's husband and queers together as this delightful look at, from that manga influence. And my brother's husband's more grounded and realistic. If you're not, if our audience isn't familiar with it, it is set in Japan. It's based on if it's not a real story, it feels very real and true. Has a lot of authenticity. Doesn't have magic. Doesn't have anything too exciting in terms of the visual. But it's beautiful. Tagame Sensei's work is amazing, as you said, and it's great to see something that the rest of the world, who may not want to look at porn, the porn comics, that he does amazing with. Like so in the same vein though, I would take that with queers and just be like, look, this is some really great all ages, queer manga or gay manga. Like, yeah. So I'm hoping that because of the success of that and the fact that the world is evolving in mostly that your work
Yeah.
will find not only, I mean, you're doing a great job publishing it yourself, so I don't even know if you need a big publisher, but if we'll certainly hope that the word gets out and that you're able to keep doing this. I mean, would you want to do something like this full time, or do you kind of like having a day job to fall back on?
Well, ideally, like if I can use my like full time for comics, but yeah, I don't know how. Well, maybe the to catch some publishers or making book and sell a lot, or I don't know how, but that would be ideal. But at the moment, I'm doing the freelance game design things, so yeah, try to balance it. And well, it's a stupid dream, but like if I keep making the books, the careers, and if someone find it and it become anime or something, and then go to Netflix and go to Russia or Middle East, then maybe this can change the world a bit, and then all world kids watch watch that and then grow up and change the society. And it's a stupid dreams, but it's kind of worth to try. So
Absolutely.
so yeah, I don't know how long does it take, but I just keep drawing as I can, and it's good fun for me anyway. That's the first thing. It's really good fun. I really enjoy this.
Well,
So
good.
yeah,
I'm glad that you enjoy it and that your passion to get this out is driving you until the recognition comes. But I'm telling you, it's going to come. It's going to be there very soon, I think, because with 6 issues out, on Facebook and Instagram, and your Patreon that we're going to try to get more people to join and help out with. I think that
it's
the new year is going to help with that. Yeah, make sure you go to and this will also be a podcast eventually. It'll take a while. So the audio, if people who can't see what we're pointing at, it's patreon.com/Isa happy field. All so Isa_happy field. And we'll put the link up on our Facebook page and Twitter and all that stuff too. So, Isa, I am really
uh,
glad we got to talk. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for more issues of Queers. Anytime you want to come back and talk about your latest, project, when the thing starts to, if you do a Kickstarter or when you have news to announce of a big publisher picking it up, I hope you'll come back on
yeah.
Flame On and we can talk some more.
Yeah. Well, I keep posting the my Instagram or any kind of new information. So and then I'll let you know if something happens and coming up.
Awesome. I really hope that. And then since you mentioned it and we didn't put this up either, let me Doll Backy is your Instagram. That's the best one. Dolbaki. I don't know what is that a thing? What is Dolba? What is that? Where does that come from?
Well, it's actually the name of the cat of the song I used to love, the rock band, crazy rock band, and he was singing about Dorbaki, and then that was his cat name. But I
Well,
was crazy for this band. Yeah, my teenager.
aw. Well, that's awesome. I mean, whatever it came from, that's how they can find your work on Instagram. And I'm looking at it right now. We've been sharing screenshots from it. I hope everyone will go check that out. And then as soon as you do that, because you want to support Isa, you go to patreon.com/Isa_happyfield and you'll join and get to see the art a little bit earlier than everybody else. But again, Isa, thank you so much. Domo arigatou
Oh, thank you,
gozaimasu. And
Gato.
like I said, we're gonna talk again about this. I hope very soon.
Okay, for sure.
All right.